Welcome back, guys. We are here for episode 7 of our Kamigawa adventure. We have a couple of guest stars. We have Airball, Covertgogina, Covertgoblue, myself, Nerdgirl, and our wonderful DM, MoxRuby. Before we get into our quick recap, I do want to thank Cool Stuff for sponsoring this show. If you guys use code DGen or MNG5 or CGB, what's your code?
CGB5.
CGB5, yep. You guys get 5% off, and it helps support a bunch of wonderful teams and content creators. So make sure you guys show some love and thank them for helping us create this content. All right, we're going to do a quick recap. MoxRuby, we're going to throw it to you so you can kind of bring us up to speed with where our team is at.
Great. Hi, everybody. My name's Ruben Bressler, and I am the Dungeon Master for this lovely adventure. We have a party of 4... what we're calling plane jumpers. Not quite planeswalkers, but not quite regular mortals either. They've been identified as perhaps having a latent planeswalker spark and being entrusted with some of the jobs that the planeswalkers themselves perhaps can't or don't have the opportunity to do on various planes. In this particular case, they were called to the plane of Kamigawa to aid the Wandering Emperor with a quest. The quest being an escaped convict gang leader named Greasefang, a rat person, a Nezumi, who is the leader of the Okiba, who had been arrested and held in prison, but had been broken out during a prison transfer. They were tasked with tracking him down before any of the other institutions around Kamigawa could find him, because he is a wanted man in more ways than one. The party then, by the way, our party is made up of Bianca, who is a Leonin druid, Airball, who is a warforged artificer, Jen, who's a human paladin, and Varian, who is a human rogue. And they are the party that we are adventuring with. They began their adventure by going to downtown Tawashi, which is the middle of Kamigawa. Big streets, loud music, lots of carts. Traced the tracks to the sewers, went through the sewers up to the mountains of Sokenzan, where in the metalworking district they found an old warehouse where Greasefang was lying low. They successfully absconded with him, took him away, and took him to a friend of theirs, Hank's chop shop, basically, their mech facility. And while there, most recently, it seemed that some of the other forces had caught wind that Greasefang was out of prison and perhaps ready to be plucked. And so last we left, they had been attacked by a druid who was in bear form, and some of their flunkies. Shizuki showed up and tore a hole in the back of Hank Tawashi's mech shop, and showed up with several of their fang of Shigekis. And fortunately, cooler heads prevailed, as the party promised to return Greasefang. Greasefang also realized that, I'm the target. We need to get back to Eiganjo as fast as possible. And so the plan now, I believe, is to try to get there sneakily as opposed to loudly, as hopefully you can make your way to Otawara, the Skyward City, and Oboro, the Palace in the Clouds, which is above Tawashi in a manner of speaking, so that the ninjas who are there can perhaps sneak you back to where you want to be. Did I miss anything?
I think that sounds
right. Up a very important plot point where Varian asked for Shizuki to sign a photo for him.
That's right. Yeah, Shizuki, a bit of a celebrity, of course, and Varian, big fan of Shizuki.
Fanboyed all over it.
And we have a photo. Shizuki apparently did indeed sign the card for CGB.
Yeah.
What a nice snake druid.
It says, to my bestie.
Love that. It's great. So that's where we left. You guys are preparing to leave Hank's to get to Otawara. You can get there by road. It is not hard to get there by road. The roads themselves are at like 45-degree angles, right? Because Otawara is in the sky. But you're in mechs. Mech of all kinds can travel those roads, but it is difficult. It will be difficult terrain if you try to like walk it. And of course, flying there is also an option if you have some sort of situation that you can do that. But you can look at the roads and see that there are high-speed hover bikes and all manner of transport vessels that travel between Otawara and the ground. But you're still in Hanks for the time being.
Okay. I ended the last episode by, I believe, giving Hank a bunch of money, hopefully to help repair his shop from the damaged Shigeki, because, you know, apparently he doesn't use doors. Right. I also left off by trying to convince people to work with Greasefang, and I think we had a little bit of conflict there. But I think first things first, we need to get to the next location. Does anybody want to sort of jump in with any ideas on how we should transport or anything like that?
Does Airball fly?
What are the capabilities of the new machinery you have, too?
Right. You ended up with a new mech of your own. You have a Mind Link mech. It is effectively a second vehicle. No, it does not fly.
Okay.
Even if the card does. I'm not sure if the card does.
I was gonna like rules lawyer. Oh well.
It does not itself fly, but that's not a huge problem. The roads are able to transport up.
Okay. So we still have the van, and I assume the big mech suit cannot go into the van. So Airball, do you want to meet us there?
We've come this far. I think I need to keep the mech. I'll walk.
Yeah, you've effectively got two vehicles.
Thought he was rigging it to blow itself up. Now he wants to keep it.
Well,
I think a question here.
It's rigged to blow.
We say we should never split the party, but should we split the party? Because what I remember from the last episode was that a bunch of people were going to come out to try and get Greasefang on the way, right? Mm-hmm. So we might have some problems on the way. If we had two vehicles, would that be more sneaky? To not be sure which one Greasefang is in?
Yeah, it could be more sneaky for that, but also, like, let's say the vehicle with Greasefang gets attacked, then the other vehicle can kind of come up and flank whoever's attacking us, or whatever the case may be. So that's kind of neat. Airball's driving the mech, and I'm the one that has the proficiency with vehicles. So I would say we probably need to split the two of us up, and then one of you guys go with each of us.
I would butt in at this point. Greasefang will interrupt and say, I too am a pilot. Just in case you want someone else to pilot one of these vehicles, I'm a pretty good driver myself.
No one asked you.
Oh, okay. All right. Listen, hold on, lady. We're all on the same team for this portion of the day. So later I can get your attitude, but we're on the same team for right now.
He is so annoying. Okay, I said I would never do it. I was against it, but I think I should go with Airball and transform into Greasefang as a decoy.
Oh, that's a cute idea. And then the other thing too is that then Varian can go with me with Greasefang, and we keep the cat and the rat separated, because that seems like a good idea as well.
Yeah, I might cut him.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
All right, Varian, if I drive, can you keep him controlled in the back? Make sure he doesn't try to escape.
Oh, no problem.
Again, I'm not interested in jumping out of the frying pan right now. You know, I appreciate your candor, though.
All right. So our plan is to break up in groups of 2 and 3 and make our way there.
Awesome. I love So there are a couple of ways from Towashi to get to Otawara. There is, of course, the main road, which is just a regular sky highway where vehicles can pass each other. It looks like the Rainbow Bridge. And that is not congested, but it moves pretty regularly. There are a couple of other side highways that are a little bit smaller, but they also are, half as much as busy. And then there are more clandestine routes. So if you sort of wanted to, for example, go to the other side of the great tree of Beseiju and sort of use Beseiju as a distraction and then drive over Beseiju, that could be an avenue as well. But the easiest and fastest are going to be the main highway and then a couple of the other side roads.
I think
the sky is yours. You may choose how you would like to proceed.
I think we take the main highway. I feel like we're less likely to get attacked by rogue druids and things.
Well, how likely do you think it is that we're going to be chased? Because it might be a good idea for me and Bianca to take one road that we're likely to get attacked by because we have the decoy, and you guys can get Greasefang there without being molested.
You could take the sneakier road.
Yeah, if you
I
guys
can take the 10-meter tall mech, and they might follow me.
I'm just concerned that you guys will get attacked and won't be able to get out of it. So I'm okay with splitting up. I just don't know if we should split up without where we're not within range of each other. Varian, thoughts?
I'm totally fine if they want to take the Skyway and we take the back roads. I like sneaky roads.
All right, let's do it.
Sneaky roads for sneaky rogues.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
I love that. Episode title. So you're able to pack up. You're able to make whatever repairs that were needed to be done to your mech. I'm not sure if either of your mechs were damaged. I have a couple of questions before we move out of the building. Are there any upgrades to any of your gear that you're planning on doing, either to the mechs or picking up here in Hanks, that I need to be aware of?
So last episode, we were trying to rig the MindLink mech to be able to explode. But
yes, I believe
we weren't able to do it during final combat because Hank didn't have time. So let's just get Hank to do that now.
Great. We can finish that up. You have a self-destruct button. How would you like that to operate? Would you like it to be 10-second countdown? So it gives you 2 rounds of combat to get out of there?
Yeah, computer, activate auto-destruct sequence.
Fabulous. And that's in the MindLink mech. Okay. Anything else anybody wanted to pick up while we're here? We've got a couple of vending machines, but it's mostly a gas station.
I don't know. If I look around, do I see anything really cool and shiny?
I mean, it's not really. Go ahead and make an investigation check, I suppose.
All right. Well, that would be a natural 20 plus whatever I've got.
Very
then
nice.
Sure. Give me an idea of what kind of shinies you're looking for.
Oh, what do rogues like? They like weapons. They also like tools. And they might just want to steal the money that we gave Hank right back.
Oh, geez. I mean, that certainly is going to be on the table there, or in the cash register, I suppose. But you, next to that, you do in fact find a small glass jar. It's about this big, and it is labeled Dust of Disappearance.
Dust of Disappearance.
Yes. And that's on that is a 5th edition item that you can find.
Let me see here.
Sounds...
I haven't acquired it yet.
I will read it to you. Usually it's found in a small packet, but this one is going to be in a little glass jar. There's enough for one use. As an action, you can throw the dust into the air, and when you do, you and each creature within 10 feet of you become invisible for 2d4 minutes. The duration is the same for all subjects, and the dust is consumed when the magic takes effect. If a creature affected by the dust attacks or casts a spell, the invisibility ends for that creature. So it gives you 2d4 minutes of invisibility as a pixie dust sort of situation.
I'm going to try the high road. I'm going to pick it up and hold it in Hank's direction and say, how about one for the road? This looks handy.
Sure, make a persuasion check.
That would be an 11 plus 0.
11's fine. Y'all paid for the wall. That's good enough. I mean, I'm not even sure that was mine. You go ahead and take it. I don't even know what that is.
Nice. All right, I'm going to add that to inventory because I think I'm getting good at figuring this stuff out.
Fantastic. So, Bianca, you are going to... part of the plan was that you were going to disguise yourself. When that occurs, or how would you like for that to manifest, do you think?
I'm going to wait till the last possible moment so that I can begrudgingly transform. I will do it in the most adorable way possible. Like, the cherry blossoms are still going to swirl around me, but then what's left is, it's Grease Fang.
Fantastic. All right.
Venerate Sailor Moon.
Before you all set off, anything else?
I don't have
all right.
anything.
The cars start. Hank opens up both of the garage doors, and just like in Fast and the Furious, the two cars peel off in different directions, and you begin to make your way towards Otawara. We're going to start with the distraction vehicle, Airball and Bianca. Airball, you're driving. Bianca, you're in the front seat, or are you going to be in the back seat?
It would probably... I'd be more visible in the front seat, but if I'm a prisoner, I ought to be in the back seat. Can you see? Is there a back window?
Airball, is there a back window?
The Mind Link mech? I mean, yeah, sure. There's a back window.
There's a back window.
Okay, I'm in the back, and I'm I don't know, causing a ruckus.
Got it. Great. So you're behaving as if you're a captured prisoner in the back of this unmarked van, basically. Perfect. And you...
I'm like waving out the window, like, someone save me.
Ball, you are getting on to the main streets, off of the side streets where Hanks was, getting towards an on-ramp to get onto the highway. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me to see what you see.
Okay. Nerdgirl, can you roll for me?
Sure. 14, and what was the check?
Perception. So 18. You, as soon as you pull out of Hank's, you can see another couple of mechs get started. These are a couple of high-speed hover bikes, and they are going to start tailing you on your way to the highway. And they are joined by another large vehicle, not large vehicle, but another vehicle of some size along the way. You can't make out too many details of who is on these hover bikes, but with an 18, I would allow you to, you can pick out that there's only one person on each hover bike, and they are wielding, there's a stick coming out of their back at an angle.
Interesting. So does my character know what that implies? Like a stick coming out of their back?
You think it looks like a sword. Looks like a sword. Beyond that, you would need a closer investigation, but they are following you onto the highway. And as you get on, this is going to be like a relatively large interstate-sized highway, about maybe half-hour drive up this 45-degree angle towards the skyward city on this bridge made of light, this prismatic bridge, but not the prismatic bridge. that all of these vehicles are traveling around. There's a specific lane that's just for extremely large kami. It's sort of like the bus lane, but it's just for like 70-foot long squid animals, and there's just like a ridiculous like trail of arms, like 100, like an animal that's nothing but just arms climbing at a very fast rate. But most of the vehicles are to the right and take up most of the highway, and you can sort of pick a pace at which you to drive.
Okay. How long is this road? How far are we from Otawara?
You're going to be about 30 minutes. I would say that's about, distances are going to be weird, but it's going to take 30 minutes for you to get from where you are to where you're going.
Okay. We're the decoy. Let's just floor it. Make it convincing.
Okay. Slamming on the gas.
Mm-hmm.
Great. As you step on the gas, the hover bikes and the large vehicle that sort of has like tank treads almost speed up to match your speed to try to catch up to you. And they are not quite up to you yet, but you're able to make some evasive maneuvers. And as you do so, Bianca, you're in the back window. You can go ahead and make a perception check and look out the back window.
Okay.
And while you're there, go ahead and give me a performance check at advantage for me. Advantage because you are the decoy vehicle and you've made a pretty convincing display of it so far.
All right. My performance roll, I got a 19 and an 8.
Okay.
I have a -1 for performance, so that puts me at 18.
Okay.
And for perception, I have 16 plus 2, 18.
Okay. Yeah, they're fully convinced that this is the vehicle that they should be following. You see some members of the Mudokai gang. You see members who are sort of they are Nezumi, but they're in a different garb than the Okiba folks. They're wearing different colors. They're wearing the toad insignia, or that you would think that they'd be wearing the toad insignia, but they look like they're wearing the same uniform. But this group, in fact, has a spider emblem on their chest instead of a toad. And driving the large tank is a very attractive black-haired woman who has just like angry black eyes and is just staring straight ahead. And you probably would not be... make a history check for me. Either of you, actually.
No, it is.
Good. Let's do me.
Okay.
Mine's bad. It's only a 5. I have faith in you.
History's +4. You got a 6.
Total.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
All right. There's just a very attractive, very attractive woman in a black ponytail angrily driving this car. And she is trying to keep pace. So think about that. You've got it's not a high-speed chase so much as a high-speed drive at this point, but it's getting there. So keep that in mind. Meanwhile, we cut to the car that turned the opposite direction. You see the MindLink mech rumble off in the other direction, and waiting just a few minutes in the shadows. Go ahead and make a stealth check, actually, for the vehicle.
That would be me, right? Because I'm the one driving it?
I would say that, yes, it would be you, but it would be a vehicle check. So you would make this with proficiency. And because you're with Varian and he is an expert in stealth, I would give you advantage.
Okay. I have it on my character sheet. I've never really seen this, but my stealth has a disadvantage. I'm guessing because my armor?
Yes, that is an armor thing.
Okay.
So as a paladin, you have this big, heavy plate, and it's tough. You keep distracting the guards because of the clanky clank, right? But you're in a car, so no disadvantage on this roll.
Right.
But you will get advantage because you're with Varian, who's a master of stealth.
All right. So 16 with advantage, and I don't know what the bonus for having Varian was.
It would just be advantage. You'd roll twice.
Okay, yep, so 16 is my roll.
Great. So 16, plenty good enough. The others were an effective distraction. And you're able to stay on the surface a little bit longer to get to one of the service roads that heads up towards Otawara. You begin to pull onto a service road. You can see the highway from where you are. You can't exactly pick up or pick out which of the mechs is Airball, but you're able to drive your package, your delivery over to that highway. Varian, what are you doing? You're just keeping Greasefang busy?
Yeah, I'm asking Rolf to play some Road Tunes mixtapes.
Yeah, sure. Relp pops up on the front and is like, "Hello, Rello. What would you like to listen to?"
Road trip music, Rolf.
Road trip. Play it.
Make it nice and sneaky, and some would say covert.
So I was gonna say that "Don't Stop Me Now" was gonna start playing, but sneaky and covert is a little bit different. The soundtrack from the movie Hudson Hawk begins to play, and because that's what I was thinking in my head when you said sneaky and covert, and so that's a little bit of a jazzy situation, bunch of old classics, and you're able to pull up into the 2-lane highway that heads up towards Otawara. As you do so, you do catch that there is something that is beginning to follow you. It is not a fancy vehicle. In fact, it doesn't. Go ahead and make either of you or both of you. Go ahead and make a perception check.
13.
15 total.
And Nerd Girl?
13.
13. Okay. With a 13, it is a shape, right? Something is following you. With a 15, you can make a little tiny bit more detail. This is a mech, kind of. It's a mech that is... You know those vans that have paintings on the side of the van?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. It's got a really cool scene. It's like a majestic scene on the side of the van, except for that the painting is moving.
Like the ones with the wizards and dragons and stuff?
Correct.
Like
yes.
the Misty Mountain vans? That
like
Blair
the
Led
Misty
Zeppelin?
Mountain van. It's like the van from Onward. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But the painting on the side of the van, the airbrushed painting, is itself alive and moving and undulating in interesting and strange ways. And this van begins to follow you.
Right.
I'll let the driver know we've got a tail. They appear to have questionable taste in how they decorate their vehicles.
Do you think we need to lose them?
How far back are they? They nothing aggressive, just watching?
Nothing aggressive. No, just watching. Just tailing. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me. See how close they are.
I have rolled a 12.
12? They are 60 feet back.
We should try to find the right spot to lose them if we're going to do something, but they're far enough back that we can give them hope for a minute, but we should have a plan.
If they start to creep up to us, let me know and we'll try to lose them.
I'm trying to think of what kind of opportunities in the back roads of the skyways to Otawara. Are there some clouds over there that we can do the old switcheroo in?
Sure. I described it as raining earlier in the season. It's raining, particularly as you get up into the clouds. It's going to get a little bit misty and visibility is going to go down a little bit. So yeah, you are going to come up on a bank of clouds and hit a little bit of a foggy area.
All right, I'll leave the fancy flying to the driver. What you got?
Well, I would probably suggest that you want me to lose them or whatever, and try to lose them in the clouds or something. If you want to make a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's good. I am a big fan of the Top Gun strategy of hit the brakes and they fly right by. And then you pull up upside down above them, inverted, and keep up foreign relations.
I don't know. I don't think our car can fly very well, but I'll try.
Okay.
All right, so you are able to pull into this sort of dense fog. You lose the van in the fog a little bit, and if you'd like to make a maneuver, describe for me what you'd like to do.
Well, I mean, if we're on this highway, I don't really know, or this like road, I don't really know if we're gonna lose him. I think we would have to try to like get off and get back on in some way, or get. I mean, once we get to the fog, maybe I can just speed up and lose him that way. So okay. I guess that's the plan, is I will just get to the fog and then just book it.
Great. Make a drive check for me.
Sure. Mm-hmm. What would I use for drive?
Drive is going to, well, you're going to get proficiency because you have land vehicles. And then I would say that this could be intelligence or charisma or dexterity.
Okay,
speeding up in the fog, it's kind of scary, right?
Yeah.
Could be risky.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I have a proficiency bonus +2. I have a charisma of +2.
Okay.
So I use one of those, basically?
Use both of those.
Both of them. Okay, +4.
Yes.
Okay. 17.
Nice. So as you pull into the fog, the headlights of the van behind you disappear. But then a few moments later, you look in your rear view and there is a vague pink globule of light and a like teal globule of light. And they sort of undulate and sort of swim. And as you're about to hit the gas, you look to your left and you see what looks like the painting that was on the side of the van, which is a little tiny spirit that has like one eye and is just like blinking and grinning and looking in the van and looking at you and looking up and down the van. And then you look at the other side and it's another little big grin ghost spirit thing. And they're just like investigating your vehicle. And then you hit the gas and they're gone. You leave them in the dust.
Oof. I don't know what those are, but there's some sort of ink, scary assassin things.
But they saw him. I assume they looked into the van. They saw that we have Greasefang.
They looked into the front seat.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if the mystery machine has. I guess the mystery machine would have windows. What did you do with Greasefang in the back seat? You were sitting there back with him. So if you're trying to avoid being spotted by this van, I would have given you an opportunity to try to hide him. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Sure. 23.
And I'll give you advantage because, well, I guess you don't need advantage.
Don't need it.
I was going to say I'd give you advantage because Greasefang wants to stay hidden too. You can throw a coat over him. The spirits that pulled up alongside and took a peek inside don't appear to have seen what they were looking for. And they recede and you're able to continue speeding on. We'll cut back to the distraction vehicle on the main highway. Traffic is moving swimmingly. There's no accidents. There's no police stoppages, but you're weaving a little bit past some of the slower Kami and vehicles that are on the road. And the hover bikes are significantly speedier and quicker than the top speed of the MindLink mech. And they are going to try to, you would need to specifically try to maneuver in such a way that they couldn't get next to you.
Okay. So question for Bianca, do we want to get caught? This person is obviously of some historical importance. We probably just can't kill her and move on. Do we want to get some information about that? Or do we want to just keep up the facade as long as we possibly can to buy the others more time?
Well, this is what I'm thinking. We have a non-traditional vehicle. I think we have to follow traditional vehicle rules. I think we should drive as interestingly as possible in our vehicle. I think we should weave as much as we can and try to use some of those larger vehicles to sometimes block us from view from time to time. Let's just make it as hard as possible. Let's just keep zigging and zagging and making it real hard on them. Like, we can go hide behind that squid, right?
Okay. In that case, can I use one of my abilities to infuse a local object as my homunculus? And it will be shaped as a Kamigawa Pinto, a Kami Pinto. And it's going to drive around and run interference for us.
Perfect. So you've got a little tiny like clown car homunculus. Perfect. And so that manifests itself where?
Alongside of us at first.
Okay. So you're sort of like holding it out the window like a mattress that you're driving to your friend's house, and not that I've done this before, and you're able to put that onto the highway, and it says, "Where do we go, boss?"
Yeah, and its job is just evasive maneuvers to try to block off the hover bikes. Just being annoying.
Block off the hover bikes. I hear you loud and clear. And it like makes like a really awful noise as it peels off and begins to you hear honking behind you and like screeching of brakes, and it's just a mess. It is going to run some interference. The hover bikes appear to be significantly distracted by this. You have lost sight of the tank.
I say let's keep up this strategy for as long as we can. Let's get as far as we can. We don't want them to be completely gone because we don't want them in any way getting interested in the other vehicle. But if they get too close, we should jump out the back and have it blow up.
Jump out the back or jump out the front if they're chasing
Or
us?
the front, yeah. Like, we should jump out in a stealthy way, have an explosion, and then they will think Greasefang is dead and there's nothing to pursue. But in the meantime, we should keep their attention.
Airball, make a, I'm going to say, charisma saving throw.
Oh, God. Sure. Girl, can you roll for me?
Mm-hmm. 15 natural, and your charisma is -1.
Okay. So in your mind, you feel as if something is trying to message or give you a deliver something into your mind in the front of this vehicle. In the back, Bianca, you see a hologram attempting to materialize in front of you. Because your mind is linked with this mech, it's as if this hologram is attempting to transpose itself inside of your mind. So you feel this connection, this interpolation of a vision trying to get into the vehicle, but because your mind is the vehicle right now, that's what it feels like. It's very out of body for you, Airball.
Does it, if they're successful, does that give them the ability to control the vehicle themselves?
It doesn't. They are simply trying to appear in the vehicle.
And if they do, they will see what's in the vehicle?
You don't know. Make an intelligence check.
Okay.
12.
Plus intelligence?
Yep. That's included.
Yeah. Oh, that's included. Okay. You think that based on communication technology that you've seen before, that if they are able to project a hologram, they are able to either magically or technologically perceive what's in the vehicle.
See, so it's probably a good time for Greasefang Sailor Moon to engage.
Boy.
Great. So this is happening in front of you, Bianca.
Hey, you guy who's driving the mech. There's some weird spooky thing behind you. You good? What's going on?
Is there, can I take some sort of action, like some sort of antivirus firewall action to prevent the hologram from appearing?
Interesting. I would love for you to be able to do that. How would you like to do that? Is there a magical or mechanical way that you can do this?
So they're projecting into the mech or into my mind?
Into the mech.
I
Okay.
can see it.
Then probably some sort of like dampening field or something like that. If the vehicle has that kind of ability.
That's going to be tough while you're driving. I will let you make a Tinkerer's Tools check at disadvantage.
I have Tinker's tools. Does that help?
So that will give you proficiency.
Okay.
So you can make the check, add your proficiency bonus, this would probably be an intelligence plus proficiency, and then roll 2 d20s and take the lower and add your bonus to that.
You take the lower? I thought you...
Yes, disadvantage.
Okay. Oh.
Because he's driving 70 miles an hour, so.
So you rolled a 6 and a 22.
Okay. 6 isn't going to do it. You do look in the glove box, and Relp is helping dig around, looking for things to help. And Relp pulls out a map of some place that you guys aren't, and it's it doesn't. You can't really get what you're looking for. The best that you can do is lock the doors, which are automatic. You have automatic locks, which is nice. But there is some force is forcing their way in without the firewall being up yet. They were able to gain a foothold, and it appears as if they are going to be able to, after some amount of time, unless they get out of range. Debatable even if range matters, but some amount of time they're going to be able to solidify their presence inside of the mech.
Okay. How do we feel about this? I'm talking to Bianca. Do we feel like this is an acceptable thing to allow, or do we just blow it up now?
Well, now that the thing is here and it can probably hear me.
It's not fully operated
Okay,
yet.
you can't hear me. Okay.
Can't hear you yet.
Okay. I guess it's a question of how much time we have. I think we should wait as long as possible so that whatever this is also a witness to the explosion and can report back that we're gone.
Yeah, we do actively want them to see Greasefang. I'm inclined to just let it happen now.
Okay. You have maybe a round or two to do any preparation that you would like to do before this hologram appears.
I'm looking
we
over
already
my
have
stuff.
Greasefang Sailor Moon?
Yeah. I don't know if I can charm person with a hologram. I don't have
It's going to be tough. But you have you transformed?
Yeah, I've been Greasefang the whole time.
Great. Excellent. So you are in the back seat. Describe for me your positioning, your demeanor. Yeah.
I have chains that aren't actually secure on my wrists, and I think as the hologram becomes more clear, I'm going to just start having some more antics of, I don't know, I'm going to be taunting Airball and criticizing the bucket of bolts in front of me, telling me he doesn't know how to drive, and I'm just going to be kind of wriggling around and just being a general pain.
Perfect.
For performance.
And as you do that, a woman's shape appears next to you. It looks like she is in the position of driving a car. Her hands are on an invisible wheel. You can't see the wheel, obviously. And she is sort of seated in a driving position. Young woman, probably in her 30s, maybe 40s. Long black hair and a ponytail tied up in a knot. She wears lots of layers of linen and fabric that are black and maroon. She has some bracers on her arms, and she is all made of light, obviously, in this manifestation of her. But she calmly looks over at you, and you can tell that she can make eye contact with you, even though that she is a hologram. And she says, "Pretty clever, Greasefang, for you to make some friends along the way. What are you getting at?"
I guess, can I do some sort of a check to find out what I know about the Spider Gang?
Sure. Make another history check for me. You can also make an insight check.
Insight would be better. With insight, I could have a 16 total.
Okay. You have heard of this briefly when we were talking about Tatsunari. You knew that there was another member of the Murokai gang named Kotose, who is the silent spider. She is more of a specialist, less on the ground managing people, more of a specific job kind of person. That's who you think this is.
Okay. I'm assuming she just wants to capture Greasefang for her gang. But I got captured by these people. So I think the approach I'm going to take is maybe trying to... I think Greasefang would, in this situation, try to be friends with anybody to get out of this mech. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to go with the angle of like, hey, can you bust me out of here? I'm tired of this bucket of bolts in front of me. This is a ridiculous situation. It's embarrassing.
Oh, it is.
Holographic projection of the ego has been shown to decrease driving performance. I recommend you disengage.
Yeah, ego's a word for it. I think you want out of here. I want you out of here. This bucket of bolts that you said was not your friend is finding a bit of a decrease in performance here on the highway. It happens to the best of us. I might be able to be swayed, but if you get out of here, that means you're coming with me.
We could come to an arrangement. I like making friends.
We've tried to be friends before, Greasefang. It's never worked out. But I'm happy to try to open up a new dialogue.
While this is happening.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. While this is happening.
I was about to instigate something, so you should definitely interrupt.
Okay. While this is happening, can me and Relp be triangulating her position based on like her holographic appearance? Can I figure out where she is?
Good time. Yes, you can. Go ahead and with advantage because you have Relp. Roll this would be something like an intelligence saving throw, I would say, would be good here.
Right. Saving throw, you rolled a 9.
Plus?
Intelligence is 2. 11.
So 11. Okay. You can sort of vaguely ping that the vehicle... This is a localized phenomenon. And I mean, having seen this vehicle in person before the hologram came in, you know this tank is around somewhere.
To be clear, did we said that was at advantage. Did we roll twice?
We did not.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and roll twice for the save.
1 less.
Okay. 11 will still get you that it is within 30 feet of the vehicle.
Okay.
This is going to make it really hard for our strategy of making it look like we blew up in the mech since she's watching.
Okay. Can I maybe get my Pinto to drive in front of me so we collide?
Sure thing, boss. Pinto floors it and is right in front of you.
Okay. And let's run into it and at the same time activate auto-destruct sequence.
Okay. So a whole lot of things are going to happen at once. You're going to activate the auto-destruct sequence on the Mind Link mech as you hit your homunculus vehicle. As you hit the vehicle, Kotose's hologram, she is stunned by what's happening on the highway. It turns off. So she's no longer in your head and no longer in the back of the vehicle anymore. And you have about 2 rounds of unviewed activity, the 2 of you, before this mech explodes, I guess.
Okay. Airball, the hologram's gone. Time to move.
Yeah, do we maybe try to carjack someone else? Or we're on this highway up to Otawara, right? We've come too far, we can't go back. We're not gonna go on this highway on foot. We need some way to move.
Yeah.
What are the closest vehicles to us? Can we have a couple of choices?
Absolutely. So you're in a pretty busy section at this point. There's lots of transport vehicles. In fact, I would say that there is probably a large, the equivalent of a semi-tractor trailer that you're pulling up next to when all of this is occurring. That is labeled Thundering Colossus Movers.
We could try to get in the back of that.
Without the driver knowing? We just hop on the back and grab on?
We could hop on the side that Katose isn't privy to. Just hang on. I've got claws. I can sneak them in and help you if you need.
I buy that. Let's get that
Perfect.
shot.
Okay. So we want to open up the hatch, I guess. Get out, jump onto the side of a vehicle, and hold on for dear life.
Great. So you're able to open the side door. There is only about a 3-foot gap between the van and the truck. And you're moving very fast on the highway at a 45-degree angle. So it is... Yep. It's a lot, and the ground is translucent pink neon. So it's a whole lot of stuff happening all at once. But you're able to get the door open in such a way that you are at an angle that you don't believe that you can be spotted by where you think that the Kotose's tank vehicle might be. So go ahead and you is there anything you're taking out of the vehicle?
Can we grab is Relp plugged in? Or do they have Relp?
I think we have Relp, don't we?
Relp is plugged into
whoever has it.
Airball, I think.
Okay, then we're good. Cool. I don't think we need anything else in the vehicle then.
Great.
Unless you can think of something, Airball, like some piece of machinery you'd like to take from the mech?
I think
some sort of a drive?
I'm interested in making it look as convincing as possible that it just blew up. And no one left. So I want all of the original pieces to be findable by anyone looking at the wreckage.
Sounds good. Very logical.
So you can set all that up. Relp is coming with you. I think he's part of your circuitry at this point. And you can both sort of get ready to jump. And you can both help each other as you jump to the truck. So you hear the pleasant voice of the auto-destruct sequence has been activated. If you're anywhere near this vehicle in 10 seconds, it's going to be a bad time. 9, 8, 7.
Let's go!
6, 5,
Jump.
4.
I jump.
3. Okay. So you jump. Both of you go ahead and make either strength or dexterity saving throws. Both of you do it at advantage. The number you're looking for is 15.
Airball got there, 17.
Either way.
Okay.
Okay. I have a +2. I got 21.
Okay. You're both able to jump out of this vehicle and jump across and grab hold of the side of this of this truck. You can sink your fangs into the side of this Colossus.
I'm going to use claws. It's classy.
Yeah. And it peels off on an exit that says exit Otawara. Your Mindlink mech that you took from the warehouse in Sokanzan barrels forward, being followed, as you see, shortly behind by a large tank-like vehicle, and then a little bit behind that, and then a little bit behind that, two high-speed hover bikes. And you see that vehicle, the Mindlink mech, with a mind of its own now, sort of goes up one of those truck exit ramps and sort of you lose it in the sun as it careens off of the highway. And you have successfully avoided Katose.
The explosion, is that something that the other party would be able to see from where they are?
I would say so, yeah. So there's probably you as it goes up into the sun, you probably lose sight of it for a bit as it get lost in the rays. And then there's a boom, there's a big explosion because you specifically wired it to be able to do this auto destruct sequence. From the service road, as you're all converging up into Otawara, you can probably spot a bit of a mushroom cloud right on top of one of these other clouds, just off in the distance.
All right.
Airball, I would high five you, but I need to hold on.
High fives are irrelevant. We are safe.
Can we get word to the other vehicle to let them know we're okay? Or do you think that communication would be intercepted?
I believe that you have the ability to do it, but that's up to you.
I kind of want to just shut up for a while. Like,
Probably better
don't-
safe than sorry.
Let's look dead.
Let's look dead.
Varian and Jen, you are more than able to arrive in Otawara, and you arrive just outside the front gate of Oboro, where you can pull off to the side of the road unabated. It seems as if whoever was attempting to follow you has not followed you all the way to here.
Great. Okay, so we get there, and then so the original plan was to try to get Greasefang here, so that way we could try to find a copy of him to put the copy in jail. Is that right? Is that was our original goal?
Cloning him?
I think that was.
Well, yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Or just to find a better place to like hide him, I guess. All right.
You know, we could just send him off to his people right now. We could just head to Capenna now.
Well, Bianca really didn't want to let him go. And your best friend ever might also get a little upset if you let Greasefang go.
Shigeki?
Yeah.
He's not my friend. We're just somebody. I don't think he remembers me.
A loud thundering Colossus Movers van trundles past you, and on the side of it appear to be gripped two of your compatriots.
Greetings.
We see them just like drive by. I'm just like, what the?
Mm-hmm.
Speak of the devils.
Hey guys.
Did you guys lose your vehicle? What in the world?
Do they like jump off or drive past?
We still going 70 miles per hour?
No, the truck has gotten off the highway. We're in front of Oboro now. Truck is going maybe 10.
Okay. Upon seeing them, Airball, let's jump off. We carefully jump off.
Is she a rat still or not?
It's up to you. Yeah,
I think I still look like a rat.
Okay,
right now.
Spider-Man meme time.
I don't think I had time.
Man, you look gorgeous. I thought you looked gorgeous before, but I mean, I gotta say, this is a different kind of look. I can't do this right now. I should have friends here. Someone should be able to help me. And a voice emerges from somewhere around a monolith outside of Oboro and says, "Old friends are always there to help." And emerging from around the side of a plinth is a face that perhaps you recognize as one of your potential employers, because as plane jumpers, you know what most of, if not all, of the planeswalkers on the plane look like. Before you, you see a very young man with a shaved head, got a couple of like racing stripes happening, leather armor, leather bracers, and a blue belt. And sitting on his shoulder is a mechanical tanuki that has little glowing eyes and looks very pleased and is looking around and is very happy to see you. And he says, "My name is Kaito Shizuki. Welcome to Oboro, the palace in the clouds. Sounds like we have a lot to discuss." And I think that's a good time to take a break.
Agreed. All right, guys. So we will take a 5-ish minute break. You guys can turn your cameras off or just mute your mics or whatever you need to. And if you guys want to stick around, that's cool too. Oh my gosh.
Yay.
The scene with them like diving off the thing, grabbing onto a car.
I love when... So I didn't know what you guys were going to do. I certainly didn't know you guys were going to split the party. I was very excited that you did. But I love doing chase scenes in D&D. And I wish that the mechanics for D&T were better for chase scenes. But the way that rounded up was really cool.
Nice. I'm excited. It has been 2 weeks in between, so like I kind of forgot what we agreed on. I remember my initial plan, but I know Bianca wasn't into it, so we got to come up with a new plan. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I will have Kaito sort of be the sounding board and be the curious of like, so what's the plan kind of situation.
Right.
So that you guys can work it out in character. Good plan.
What plan are you talking about?
Your split the party plan. It was an effective distraction.
Kaito found us, though.
Well, Kaito's here.
Oh, I thought Kaito was the one following them. Like the...
Oh.
No, the ink guy was the one following us, right? The ninjutsu guy?
Umezawa was following you.
I see.
And then the spider lady was following you, and we just got to Kaito.
Yeah. Kaito is here at the palace. I mean, it could be. Maybe you don't know. He could be an enemy. This could be a Lando Calrissian situation, but...
Seems kind of shifty.
So, I'm wondering, before we get into it, like how close to lore we're tied? Because, like, CGB knows that the Wandering Emperor and Kaito are BFFs. But I don't know if we know that. So I don't know what's going on.
The Wandering Emperor who are BFFs? You mean
Kaito.
Kaito.
Yeah. I would say that for the ease of our use, it can be whatever it is that you want it to be. If you would prefer that I don't stick straight to the lore, we can be a little bit herky-jerky. It doesn't really detract from my story at all.
I think it's your story. You should pick whatever makes a good story. And as players, we shouldn't assume that he will stick to Wizard's lore.
Right.
Okay. I'm sus. I can't help it. This is, like, the Emperor is his dearest friend.
And technically,
dearest friend.
He might be on her side, and we still technically, could still be working for her in Honest. Like, we don't really know. So maybe he's going to try to be like a contact to help us get back to her. Or, I don't know, maybe she stood him up on a date or something, and now he's like going to help us. I don't know. And I think we still might just turn him in because Bianca seemed very uncomfortable with turning him into a drug mule.
Well, these are good conversations to have in character if we're ready to get back in. All right. So Kaito stands in front of, there are several guardians standing in front of the palace. And Kaito says, please feel free to enter the courtyard. Of course, the palace itself is off limits, but we have a lot of discussion to do around the grounds, I feel.
Since I'm not sure of the situation and what his angle is, I am not going to transform back into my normal form yet. We're going to leave it confusing in case we need to do something confusing.
Okay, sounds good. So you have you have 2 tied up grease fangs.
And he doesn't seem surprised.
He does not seem surprised. He is one of the 1,000-faced ninjas, so he has probably seen a disguise before.
Bianca was like on the back of the van and stuff, so it can't be tied up.
Oh, that's true. So we have 1 tied up grease fang, 1 not tied up grease fang.
Which probably cleans up some of the confusion.
Grease fang looks at Kaito and says, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. And Kaito says, you've been a naughty boy. But introduce me to your friends. I don't believe that I've had the pleasure of meeting any of you.
Grease fang.
I will introduce myself. My name is Kaito Shizuki. I am a native here of Kamigawa, and I reside in Otawara presently. This is Himoto, my companion, and Himoto wags their tail. They are a kami, but use a mechanical tanuki suit to sort of maneuver around the material plane. He's very friendly. And who might you be?
My name is Jen. I'm here from Capenna, and we're trying to figure out what to do with our friend Greasefang here.
Yes, Capenna is a interesting, another of the civilized planes. It's very nice to have you here. And the rest of you.
I don't need to introduce myself. I'm your friend.
Ah,
you
yes.
know me.
Hello.
Oh, we lost our
You
DM.
killed him.
My voice was so bad, I made him disconnect.
I'm going to keep trying to find my tanuki.
Oh, I think it's in the closet.
Sorry about that.
I was going to grab mine too. It's in a box over here. I didn't want to get up.
My Discord restarted. Yes, Greasefang looks at... Well, not sorry. Kaito looks at you, Greasefang, and says, ah, yes, my good friend, my good old friend, Greasefang. It is so lovely to see you. Yes, and Himoto is making its way all around all of you. Specifically,
I want to pet it, but I withhold myself. I stop. I restrain myself from petting.
Himoto specifically avoids the real Greasefang, but seems to not mind your Greasefang.
Because he knows the truth, I assume. Airball.
Greetings. I am an android.
Indeed you are. It is a pleasure to meet you. Do you have a name or designation that you prefer?
I am Airball from the plane of Kamigawa.
Oh, you're from here.
Indeed.
Interesting. You are. What is your place of manufacture, if you don't mind my asking?
Unknown. I am experiencing some sort of retrograde amnesia. Your
Perhaps we can
electronic
help.
rodent is most interesting. Tell me about it.
Yes. Well, Himoto is also part, not 100% mechanical. There is a spirit inside, and it drives around this mechanical suit in much the same way that one would drive a mech or a vehicle around. And he is very cute. And he also has a bit of the spark inside of him.
Fascinating.
And if you have some sort of block in your mind, it is possible that perhaps we could help you with that here at the monastery. Here in the palace, we have a number of institutions beyond just the governance of Otawara. Sir, skulking in the back like I like to do.
Yes. Yeah. I am very in despair. You can find me Varian_despair69 on the Twitters and Twitch handles. Aspiring streamer and mostly roguish stuff, though. Very good at the roguish stuff.
Perfect. Yes. You seem like a rogue. It's tough to get a lot of followers on social media if you're trying to hide, though.
Yeah, it seems to be a challenge.
It's a little bit
I'm
difficult.
working on it.
Yeah, it's very difficult to monetize having videos that are hidden.
The algorithm, man. Algorithm's rigged against you.
Algorithms
You gotta
are really bad. Yeah, it's not good.
Unlisted videos just don't
easier.
get the views.
Yeah, I don't recommend Instagram for rogues because it's mostly saying, "Hey, here's me," and then it's just like a picture of a landscape and there's no people in it.
It's very You and I see. I like this guy. This guy knows my struggle.
Exactly. So tell me about why you are here, and you have brought this wanted fugitive to our doorstep.
We're trying to figure out what to do with him.
Okay.
Why are we talking? I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't talk to him that much about it. I'm not from this plane, so I don't actually know if I should trust him.
Oh, you are familiar in some ways to me as you are members of the Plane Jumpers. I myself am also a planeswalker, so I am on the same sort of wavelength. I didn't happen to have any jobs that needed your attention, but you've sort of stumbled here. I assume you're working for one of the couple of other planeswalkers who are on the plane. Seeing as it's a fugitive escaped from prison, my guess is that maybe it could be my old friend who is in charge around these parts.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out what to do with Greensfang.
Yeah, we were hoping to make a little cloney copy so that, if any parties came after us, our lovely Bianca here you saw did a very good impression, but we were hoping for something a little less clone, no offense, and a little more like would pass the inspection of somebody with such a keen eye as yourself kind of copy in case, there are people after him and we want to safely get him where he needs to go.
Yeah. There are magics that can do what you described, making a perfect clone or a simulacrum of some kind. Those are very high magics and very rare, beyond my capabilities.
But maybe you know someone who could because you know of them.
I suppose I could ask around and see if someone is more knowledgeable about this sort of endeavor. Once you have a copy, what is the plan at that point, though? Are you just going to let Greasefang go free? Greasefang says, yeah, they're just going to let me. I mean, that's part of the deal.
Shut up, Greasefang.
Oh my God, Greasefang!
Do I know anything about Kaito's and Greasefang's relationship? They seem to have come into contact at least a little bit in the past.
I mean, they are... So you would know enough about Kaito to know that he spent some time within the gang underbelly of Kamigawa. It's been a while since he was a member of any gang affiliation, of any Reckoners in Kamigawa, but Greasefang has also been around a while. So these are kind of like old business associates, maybe several years ago.
Trying to assess whether his loyalty to the Wanderer or loyalty to Greasefang is greater.
Make an insight check for me.
He doesn't seem to like Greasefang.
No, but he's like an ex-lover of the Wandering Emperor too, right? Is my understanding?
Yeah, well, you said his loyalty to her or to Greasefang. He was actively avoiding the real Greasefang, and I'm assuming he doesn't really like him. So you rolled a 1, so I don't think you know it.
Yeah, tough to gauge. He's tough to read.
So the Wandering Emperor gave us something that it was like a thing that we could use if we got in trouble with the authorities. Like anyone that was working for her would leave us be, basically. But they would not claim that we were working for them, but like let us out of jail or something. Do we have a way to like contact the Emperor?
You do not. But you think that sigil, that paperwork may work here. Oboro is kind of like a consulate. And Kaito is a member in good standing of the Planeswalkers Union. So,
all right. Kaito, could we have a few moments alone so I could talk to my party here?
Of course.
All right.
Come on, Moto.
That was a cute squirrel sound. All right, guys.
Sounds ill.
So here's the thing. Bianca has promised that we won't let Greasefang continue to ruin the plane and do the thing. And, Bianca really didn't like my plan of turning him into a Alo mule for my boss. So, and we're going to make a duplicate of him and then maybe let him free. But that doesn't really make sense if we're not using him in some way. So I have a new plan. What do you guys think of this? What if we did everything for everybody? We make the copy, throw the copy in jail for the Wanderer's benefit, and then we do right by Shigeki and everybody else on the plane who wants Greasefang gone, and we just take him to Capenna. And he can work for my boss there, whether as a premier pilot or join the gang, or my boss can eventually send him back and do whatever, but by then it'll be way out of our hands. But he'll be off the plane of Kamigawa, not creating problems, which should suit everyone.
Never been to New Capenna, but my instincts say it's the proper place for him.
I think we could even frame it as doing right by the Emperor, because their cages couldn't hold him before. So
That's true.
if the clone is sitting in a happy little jail cell and never escaping, Wandering Emperor looks good. Solve the problem. People are happy.
We also don't even need to clone him. Maybe we could just tell the Emperor that we will take him elsewhere, because again, they couldn't hold him before, and if he's not on the plane, then all of the gangs trying to free him or kill him or whatever will have no reason to do any of these things. So even just having him in a jail cell is always going to be a problem for her. Maybe we could just remove that by taking him to Capenna.
The thing is, if we reveal this plan, there's always the potential power issue at play where the Emperor says, no, my plan's better. So bring him back. And now she knows our intention and we don't get paid and we get blacklisted.
My concern is that she already knows our intention because Greasefang blurted it out to Kaito.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think we can keep it concealed from him. He is a planeswalking ninja. He saw right through Bianca's disguise in a second.
So maybe we just need to convince him that we're taking him to another plane for the good of Kamigawa. When it also kind of suits of Nixilis.
If we convince this Kaito that we're doing the right thing, that might help us in convincing the Emperor, wouldn't it?
Okay. I like this. Maybe they're friendly.
I feel we need something stronger. Is Greasefang that big of a threat to the stability of the plane that just having him off sounds good? They're definitely going to want to know what's in it for us.
Every other gang seems to want to get him. He's like the chief source of all the instability on this entire adventure so far.
I'm okay with whatever you guys want to do. Bianca, strong opinions?
I think we should chance revealing this plan to Kaito and see if he could help us.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll tell him we know exactly a nice place to take Greasefang where he won't ever bother Kamigawa ever again.
And if he doesn't like this plan, I could try to charm him into liking this plan and then persuading the Emperor.
That's a really ambitious to either deceive or charm this ultra powerful planeswalking ninja, but I love, hey, we'll do what we got to do.
Time for an encore performance.
So
right.
Kaito is waiting patiently.
All right, so let's go talk to him. All right, Kaito. We have a plan, but I think we need your help.
All right.
So we have been brought to this plane by the Emperor to bring back the escaped prisoner. We have him, but we don't think turning him over to the Emperor is the best option for Kamigawa. We know that a ton of other gangs we've been attacked by Shigeki and the Druids, and there was
tell them about the snake people. The spiders. Tell them about the spiders.
Well, I don't know about the spiders yet, but we were attacked by the ink guy, Uzama, right?
Oh, Umezawa, yes. I used to work for Satoru.
So we've been attacked by everybody, and I don't think that giving him back to the Emperor will fix any of this strife. They'll just break him back out again, or try to assassinate him, or something. We want to take him to another plane.
Yeah, I think that the Emperor believes that she can handle every problem within the law, and I am not quite so sure. So I'm willing to entertain the thought that perhaps her plan of dealing with Greasefang may not be the best. I'm willing to listen to what you have in mind.
So originally we were talking about cloning him and giving her a clone, but the assassinations and the jail breakout attempts will continue. So I'm wondering if we can provide some sort of clone dead body, so everybody will think Greasefang is dead, and we just remove him from the plane.
Interesting.
And I have powerful people on Capenna that can keep him under control.
Right. And it's a lot easier to duplicate a dead body than a live one. So in this case, you would abscond from this particular plane with the criminal who has been causing the trouble, the consternation. The Wanderer would be rid of the problem, and Greasefang would get to live. Everyone's happy, yes?
Yes, and we get paid.
And you get paid. Well, how would you get paid?
Well...
Oh, you would return the body. Okay. I don't mind this plan. We could probably... I mean, it's the magics of replicating a live clone are far beyond anything that I'm aware of. However, the replication of a face is not. So we could certainly make an inert copy. This is within the capability of the 1,000 Faces.
Do we need a dead rat body to then duplicate the face onto?
Oh, we have... Let's just say you don't need another one. We are good. We have a good stockpile of extra corpses here at the Ninja Factory.
At the Ninja Factory.
Yes. It may not look like much, but trust me, there's a lot of us here. And you look, and there's no one around.
Team, what do you think?
Yeah, let's let the army we don't see take care of the corpse situation.
I will require that those, in order to replicate Greasefang, we will need Greasefang.
We have him.
For the time being, we would need to take him to, a facility, make some molds, make some costuming, stuff like that.
I raise my hand. Would I do?
Unfortunately not. The illusion that which you are using is not a permanent one. We would need, it's more of a magical as well as a physical situation.
Like an insight or perception or something to try to figure out if he's
Lying.
If he's lying,
Yeah.
make an insight check.
Okay.
We all do that?
Absolutely.
Okay. I got a 4, so somebody else better do it.
I rolled a natural 1 with a +0, so nope.
Oh my god.
18 plus 2!
Okay. And what did Airball
20.
get?
19.
Okay.
Aced it.
So the two of you who are the more fighty, definitely this guy appeals to you. Like, he's a gang person, he's a rogue, he's more rough and tumble, like his matter-of-fact approach, and he also bought into the plan pretty quick. So he's right on board with you. The other two of you, you are more, you're from a less similar upbringing than Kaito. But he doesn't appear to be either for or against your plan. He has basically no emotional attachment to anything that you're saying. He got a little smirk on his face when you mentioned the Emperor, but very quickly went back into business mode. Again, very difficult to read individual, but nothing that he is giving off signals to you that there is a double cross happening.
Kaito, would you be willing to have this done under our supervision?
Of course.
Okay. I'm okay with it.
Absolutely. It may take a little while, and I'm happy to have you do whatever it is you need for you to trust the thousand-faced ninjas as much as you need to within the parameters of our order.
Okay. So I think we should go with them, do the thing, and then I think 2 or so of us should go, the 2 that we think could lie the best should go to the Emperor and return the body.
I would also add that while I may believe in you, you are going to need to convince others of my order. So we are going to walk, and I'm going to speak on your behalf, but there is going to be some amount of convincing other people. And don't worry, it has nothing to do with your plan. It has to do with your character. Please, come with me.
So you have not yet promised to do this for us?
Oh, I will do it. I will do the thing that I have promised to the best of my ability. However, it demands that you are able to deliver the your word, and that you are going to be true to your word.
All right.
I trust you, but we are going to verify.
Well, then I might as well get a little bit more comfortable. I turn back into myself.
Oh my gosh, who are you?
Hi there.
Hi, how are you? He will lead you inside beautiful sort of like concrete slabs with grass and moss growing between them as the ground here, but they are in patches in clouds, right? So it is a sort of like these courtyards that are being held aloft by puffy white clouds. And as you walk, you now begin to see some of the hidden people. They appear from behind trees. They were either in the shadow by a table, or they all managed to sort of reconvene. And he leads you to a small clearing where there are some stone benches and some trees and a nice little babbling brook. And there is a wide array of various types of beings, all standing around a circle, perhaps waiting expectantly. Otherwise, perhaps this is just where they exist. And they all are standing on plinths. They all have little stone plinths. And go ahead and make a insight check for me.
I rolled a 1. Airball rolled a 21.
All right. To the rest of you, what did you get?
18.
Okay.
1.
Okay. To Varian's keen eye and to Airball's scan, effectively, of these beings, these are not alive beings. These are also not really spirits so much as they are traces, they're memories. They are living sculptures. Think the paintings in Harry Potter, right? Like that's the kind of thing that's happening here. They are conversing. They are sort of interacting and moving about on their plinth. But as you approach, they all turn towards you and they all sort of stand at attention. And they look, and Kaito says, "This is the place of where you will meet the ancestors, and sort of prove yourself worthy of whatever it is that you ask of the monastery." These are some travelers who wish to present a plea to the monastery, and they would wish for your blessing. And he bows and backs off. Among the people standing in front of you, there are several humans. There is at least one snake person, one naga, or orochi. There's 2 kappa of the turtle people. There appears to be some sort of praying mantis person. There's at least one kitsune. A wide array of beings stand on these plinths in front of you. And they look at you and they wait patiently.
Great. Anybody want to take a crack at it?
You're the charisma machine. Go charm them, ghost leader. Who's got the charisma? I don't have the charisma.
I've still got a -1. I thought that was supposed to get better after last week, but
the paladin is probably going to be the most charismatic of this group.
All right.
Looking at the classes.
Hello, guys. We are here to ask for your help. We are trying to complete a mission that was given to us by the Wandering Emperor, but we do not think that her plan is sufficient to help Kamigawa. We were instructed to track down a wanted criminal and bring him back to her to keep locked down. I do not think she can keep them locked down, and we've seen the strife that this character has caused all over this plane. A lot of other gangs are trying to break him out, and they're also fighting each other, and they've been trying to fight us while he was out. So I don't think him being in prison or being out of prison is going to be very good. So we would like to move him from the equation, but rather than kill him, I would like to produce a fake dead body to give to the Wandering Emperor, and so that way all the other gangs and clans will calm down, thinking that he's dead and there's nothing to fight over, and we will remove him from the plane and take him to Capenna, where I know we can keep control of him.
The guardians here of Oboro look at each other and they all sort of nod and they grin, and some of them are sort of wishy-washy about it and have generally positive reactions. And they look at you, and the response comes from a disembodied voice. You can't tell which one is talking. The response comes of, "Your words are true and you believe them. However, you must prove yourself. This is the monastery of Ki, where you center your ki and you find who you are. Tell me, what are your key words?
Keywords?
Mechanically speaking, I'm asking you, what do you think your keyword is?
Mercenary.
Keyword, Magic the Gathering keyword. What do you think?
Oh, that kind of a keyword, huh? I thought it was one of those like personal questions.
Well, we can do that too, but I'm doing something cute.
As in, like, surveil, haste, vigilance.
First
kind of
strike.
Thing.
Correct. First strike. All right. From one of the plinths, stepping off of the plinth, is a lithe young woman or old woman, I guess, sort of ageless, who is wearing robes, very flowy, and she has a fully clean-shaven head. And she steps forward and she says, you would like... And well, the whole group says in unison, first strike. Acceptable. Prepare yourself. Roll for initiative.
Oh boy, just me?
Yeah, just you.
All right. 16.
Okay. We're going to do this a couple times. Okay, you beat her on the first one.
Obviously, first strike. Duh.
Well, she also has first strike. So. So you both get into a pose and you're able to go first. What would you like to do?
I mean, the pose I'm assuming is fighting. It looks like they're gonna try to fight me. So I mean, I don't have a ton of options. So I guess we're just going to. Do they have a weapon?
They do not.
Okay. So I won't try to pull out my sword or anything. I guess we're just gonna fight or grapple in some way. So melee weapon attack. So that doesn't work, the divine smite. So let's just do an unarmed strike or prepare myself at least.
Yeah. If you'd like to make an attack, go ahead and make an attack roll. Otherwise, you can do something else.
Yeah, well, I'll try to attack. I mean, it seems pretty clear that that's what they're trying to do. So fine. All right. Natural 1. So.
Okay.
Ouch.
So you were able to get into position first, and during the delay of deciding whether you're going to reach for your sword or if you're going to just stay back on defense, you throw a haymaker punch, and this lithe figure sort of just moves their arm out of the way, and you punch over their shoulder. And then as you do so, they are going to use the side of their hand and give a karate chop into your ribs.
Okay. Armor class 16.
Okay, I rolled a 29 on my first attack, and that's going to be 7 points of damage.
Okay.
Then they're going to do the same thing, and this one's going to be a miss. Then they're going to use a flurry of blows, because they are a monk. That's also a miss. And that's also a miss. So your armor is able to absorb most of the strikes that this monk is dealing, but the first one is able to catch you in the ribs right between a couple of the plates and deal you a little bit of damage. And then she sort of spins and goes back into a position of defense.
All right, well, I feel like unarmed against a monk is not quite fair, so I feel like I'm supposed to have my weapon out.
Okay.
So yeah, we're going to if they're going to use all their special abilities and bits, I think I will try to pull out my weapon.
Great.
Stick them with the pointy end, Jen.
I'm gonna try to stick it with the pointy end. So yeah, let's go. Is it a full action to take out my weapon?
No, you can have your weapon out. That's fine.
Okay, so let's go for it. To hit sucks most of the time. But let's try a divine smite. I'm a paladin. We'll do the thing. +4. Not good. 12. I miss
It's
a
only
lot.
+4 for you to hit?
I mean, hit DC, yes, is +4. What else do I add to it?
To hit DC +4. It would be your weapon attack. So it would be your strength plus your proficiency. So yeah, it is +4. Huh. I thought it'd be higher than that. And what was the first attack?
I only attacked once.
And what was the number? Sorry.
Oh, sorry, 12.
12. Yeah, 12's not going to do it. You swing and it goes wide a little bit. The monk swims out of the way and is going to unleash 3 more strikes. So 1 hit. 17 to hit you?
16.
Okay, so 2 hits.
They roll so much better than me.
And that's a miss. And that's going to be 5 and 3, so 8 more damage. The monk swims and sort of looks like it's made of marble, but is, able to move like a completely flesh and blood person would, and moves back into another very calm defensive position.
Oh boy, I'm getting my butt kicked. I didn't want to fight these people.
Can
You're
I help
doing
her?
great. You're doing
Sure,
great.
what do you want to do?
Yeah, I don't think
I would like to cast Healing Word on Jen and heal some of her hit points if possible.
Great, you may do so.
Okay, so I have to roll a d4 plus a spellcasting ability modifier. It's my first time casting this, so let's see. I rolled a 3. What's my modifier?
I think it's a +2 or 3.
Where would I see that on the sheet? So
it's what is Healing Word? It's a D6 or D8 plus your.
It's a D4 plus 2. It says okay.
+2.
So it'll be a total of 5.
There you go. So you get 5 hit points back.
Oh boy.
And the voices around say it is meant to be a challenge. This is, of course, your keyword.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm going to try. Hit him again. Oh boy.
Okay.
Please be above like a 10. 13.
Okay, 13's not going to hit.
Can't roll above a 10, guys. Get my butt whooped.
Go ahead and make an insight check for me.
Insights. 2.
Okay.
Why am I going first?
The monk is going to go again. That's a natural 1. That's a hit. 15? No.
16 armor class.
Got it. So 1 hit, and I am going to deal the maximum 7.
Yikes. Thanks.
How you looking?
Thanks, Bianca. I would have been dead.
Ooh.
I'm at 3. Okay.
The monk wheels back around and takes 1 more defensive position and stands.
Can I burn another spell slot and try to heal her again?
Sure.
You might need them for yourself. You're going to have a word too.
This time I did a little bit better. A total of 6.
Great.
6. Got it. All right. Try to hit them again.
Okay.
Finally. I think I hit. 21.
21 hits.
All right. Slashing. 1d8 plus 2. And then we're going to use the Divine Strike.
Right. Which are also D8s. So it's if you're gonna use a Divine Strike, then it's 3d8 plus 2. Technically, this being is not a fiend or undead, so you don't get the bonus.
Okay. So
But 3d8 plus 2 should be plenty.
10, 15, 16, 17.
Great. 17 damage on one swing. So you take a huge slash straight through the middle of this apparition, effectively. And it feels like hitting a person. But the being itself then dissipates into clouds, sort of reappears on its plinth, and it bows to you. And it says, "You've passed the test of first striking. And with that, I give you my boon." So you're going to get a boon of first striking. The boon is it has 5 charges. I'll email you all this later. The boon of first striking has 5 charges. You can spend 1 charge to cast the spell Zephyr Strike. You can use 2 charges to cast the spell Blur, or you can use 3 charges to cast the spell Slow. And when these charges are done, they are gone.
Okay.
So you have 5 tick marks or 5 pips or something along those lines on your person, and you can keep track of your charm, and this is part of your gift.
All right. I'm not sure what happened to my character sheet, but it says I'm dead.
Oh, you may not have healed.
Take that 6.
I was healing when
she
she sent it, but maybe I didn't hit enter or something correctly, so I'm not sure.
F's in the chat.
Well, you're not dead. So the good news is you're not dead. And this woman returns back to her plinth. And the group looks at the rest of you. Who will be next?
Good luck, guys.
I think Varian wants to go.
Nope, not really. This looks like one of those like pure of heart kind of like check your metal things, and I don't really want any of that. That's very terrifying. Can we just leave? I want to just leave.
Kaito will say, "Unfortunately, you will all need to pass a test in order for the favor to be paid."
The only way out is through, huh? All right, let's go. Who wants some?
What is your keyword?
Oh gosh, I've thought about it so much. I think I'll go with Flash.
Ooh.
Flash. Okay. Okay. The praying mantis looking figure steps down from their plinth, and they stand about 7.5 feet tall, and they approve, and they bow to you, and they look at you, and they say, "How would you like to participate in the test of Flash?" And then very quickly, they run.
Get him, Varian!
Chase him!
Get him!
So
Yeah, I will attempt to intercept them. I am assuming that we are doing the DC Comics Flash character race.
Effectively,
so let's
yes.
go.
So we're
Hit
going to
the
do
music.
effectively a short chase scene here. This praying mantis moves very quickly, very lively, and darts between trees and is like running on the sides of walls and things like that. What is your speed?
My speed is, it better be good since I chose Flash. Let's see. Where is speed? Where's speed?
Oh, it should be at the top of your sheet, somewhere near the middle. Right above your armor class.
Above my armor class.
Speed 30 feet.
30 feet?
Okay. So you can so as a action, you can choose to dash. As a rogue, you can also use your bonus action to dash, which means that you have 3 times 30 feet total of movement, which is 90 feet.
Okay.
So you're able to move much faster than the average.
Oh, good. I hoped so when I picked this. All right, so I'm gonna double dash, I guess.
Great. So you're chasing this praying mantis figure down. They are also dashing and they are also jumping and bounding. And I need you to make let's do an acrobatics check as the first one, as you try to bound over and do a little bit of parkour to keep up the pace.
Okay. Yeah.
+5.
Acrobatics. Yeah, +5 acrobatics. 25, baby.
Wow, that's a crit.
Yep.
You're able to just sort of like lay out, completely do a barrel roll and kip back up and not lose any of your speed, keeping complete pace. Now, because you rolled a natural 20, I'm going to skip over the second challenge. Now you're going to need to try to grab a hold of this person. So now I need you to make an attack roll to try to grapple and grab their sash.
Okay, attack roll to try to grapple.
I'm guessing like an unarmed.
Just an attack roll. Just a regular attack roll.
Okay.
Unarmed. This would be an unarmed attack roll, actually.
So +3.
Okay. 21.
21 hits. In a flash, it's over as you're able to catch up to your quarry, able to avoid any of the pitfalls, avoid a rock that may have been placed in your way, and you're able to grab the sash of this very quick insect person. And as you do, they become a whirlwind of sashes and wind and reapparate on their pedestal. And your charm is also going to have 5 charges. With your first level, you can cast the spell. Well, this one doesn't really. I'll find a better first level spell for you. Second level, you can cast Shadow Blade. And third level, you can cast Blink.
So is this a custom item?
This is a boon. So this will be a boon that's essentially like a tattoo that you wear.
Okay.
Of Flash. And I'm going to have to choose a new level 1 spell for you. The challenge I gave you was the challenge of Haste, but I didn't have a Flash one prepared.
Oh, nice. So
I will choose a new level 1 spell for you.
Okay. Got it.
But Shadow Blade uses 2 of the charges, and Blink would use 3 of the charges. And once again, you have 5 charges; they do not recharge, and you can use them as you see fit.
Okay, sounds fun. I walk past the group and say, "That was quick."
I just like stand there looking embarrassed.
I'm ready.
Okay, so Bianca steps forward.
Can I whisper to Bianca that she should totally choose banding? I'm just messing. The people want banding.
The people want banding.
I don't know.
What is your keyword?
I mean, it would be very fitting to have lifelink at this point, right?
You're Jen. Don't interrupt. Like
sorry.
That was my line. So, because of my heritage, I might regret this, but I have to go with lifelink.
Yeah. So stepping down from the pedestal is a kitsune, who looks at you and says, "If you are prepared, we can commence the challenge of lifelink." And the kitsune motions for you to sit down, and she does as well.
Okay, so I sit.
And she places her hands out in front of her.
Should we hold hands?
my gosh.
So you'll put your
greatest
hand.
weakness.
You will put one hand on top of one of her hands, and then she's got her hand sort of in like this position.
Okay.
And she looks.
It's gonna be
looks at you, and she says, "Begin." She casts the spell Cure Wounds on you.
Oh, that's nice.
So you can heal 8 if you have any missing hit points.
I don't have any.
Okay. And what would you like to do?
I suppose I will be using my last spell slot to send it back at her.
Great.
Okay. So, here we go. I got a 5 total.
Excellent. And you feel the energy being cast, and you can see the magical energy coursing through this construct being of your healing magic going into this disciple. And it feels good. In some way, it feels like you're healing yourself, and you sort of become more in tune with yourself.
This is nice.
And as you do so, she looks at you and she nods and she says, "Thank you." And she says, healing is about more than just the health of the body. It's about the health of the soul. How do you feel?
Oh, man. I'll be honest, I've been feeling conflicted lately, but right now I am closer to being at peace.
Why are you conflicted?
The plans that we've made have changed several times, and it's been very challenging. It has created some tension within our group, but now I feel that we have converged on the same path, and it feels like the waters are more calm.
Do you feel as if you need additional healing for this rift? And if so, does it need to come from you or from someone else?
Well, like, just between you and me, are we good? Are we cool?
So none of you can hear any of this conversation. There's some sort of magical mental connection happening here.
Okay. Well, I will say, early on in this journey, Jen kept saying, "I smell," and it hurt my feelings. And I feel like if she apologized, then we could move forward.
Healing isn't all about giving only of yourself to help others. It is the lot of the healer to feel the burden of feeling as if they need to be the only one that can heal. But your compatriots can also heal, and you understand that. They do need to do it in their own time, but you need to give yourself the grace to be angry, and you need to give your friends the grace to learn.
Makes sense.
And with that, her body will disapparate and return to the plinth. Your boon is the Charm of Life Linking, and as a first level charm, you can use Absorb Elements. As a second, as using 2 of the slots, you can cast Lesser Restoration. And with 3 of the slots, you can cast Vampiric Touch.
That sounds cool.
Which is an attack. Yes, it's very cool. And all of these are going to have 5 charges, and you can use the spells as they are printed. So, for example, I think Absorb Elements is a reaction, so you could use it as a reaction. And I will send I mean, if you guys want to look all these up yourself, feel free. But I will also send up a little bit of a write-up. And the party of everyone assembled, it seems, turns to Airball.
Let's go with fabricate.
Fabricate. Stepping down from one of the plinths is one of the kappas. This kappa appears to have a large hole in the top of its shell, as if it were a cannoneer of some kind. And it stands quite tall and robust, and it looks at you and says, "Are you prepared for the test of fabrication?"
I am.
And he will clap his hands together and open them. And as he opens them, lots of bits of metal and wire and clockwork trash falls into a neat little pile on the ground. And he will say, "Begin."
Does he seem to have some sort of animosity towards me? Do I need to defeat him, or?
Nope, he just stands there.
See. Okay. Then let's take some of the bolts and transform it into one of Kaito's little raccoons.
Okay. Go ahead and make... so the first thing we'll do is we'll make an investigation check to look around for the right pieces to be able to make a little clockwork tanuki.
Okay. Nergal, can you roll for me?
Yep. A 5.
5. So not a ton of great pieces to be able to put together exactly what you're looking for, but you think that you can at least get an abstract sculpture of some kind put together here. Now we'll have you make a, let's go with a Tinkerer's Tools check.
7.
You begin putting these items together, and it doesn't exactly... It's not the vision you had in mind. Something's off. And the kappa sees that you're having trouble and looks at you and says, "Before you create something new, does something else need repaired?"
I am not in touch with my earliest memories. They've been cut off from me. Perhaps if I was reunited with them, I'd be better able to create a cute raccoon.
It is always easier to create and be creative when you are whole. A fraction of yourself is missing. It is difficult to focus. I can help you get back in touch if you would like.
I believe I would.
Hold very still. The kappa leans over and aims the cannon directly at the middle of your chest. And a very bright light appears from the center of it and shines like a beacon directly into the middle of Airball's chest. Airball, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Natural 20.
Ooh. So you're only going to take half of... half of 28. So you're going to take...
I go to 1.
So you're going to take 14 radiant damage as this laser beam shines bright, and the reflections of the light shine off of you and dissipate whiffs of clouds. It's hard to look at. And you feel as if the servos in your chest beat faster, like a whole nother CPU inside of you is reawakened. The dust that was sitting on unused memory is shaken off and burned away, and you begin to have a vision of your creation, of where you're from, of how you were brought up, of your time on the ship, of your early life before you forgot your memories. Do you have an idea of what that looks like?
Yes. I was involved in illegal scientific experiments aboard one of the flagships of the fleet, and they went badly, and most of the people on the ship were killed, and the captain reprogrammed me so that I could not remember it and to point the finger at him.
Very specific, very quickly. I'm impressed.
And the
Totally
Kappa... Perfect. The Kappa cannoneer looks at you, and he turns off the cannon, obviously, and he puts his hand on your face. Big, clawed hand. But it feels warm, feels like a sauna almost, a little damp. And he says, "This has been restored to its original manufacturer's specifications. However, you are not just a collection of wires and plates. You are more. Just like what you create is more. Let's try again."
Okay.
This time, go ahead and make an investigation check at advantage.
Okay. +4 to whatever.
12.
Okay. You're able to find a better selection of bits, maybe a couple triangular plates that are much easier. You found a little spring that maybe is better for a tail. Now go ahead and make a Tinkerer's Tools check at advantage.
Don't know what your plus is for that, but you got an 18.
Okay. 18 on the dice.
Mm-hmm.
So the Tinkerer's Tools is expertise, and then you could add either intelligence or dexterity to that.
Intelligence, I think, is 4.
Okay,
Yep,
so you ended up with something like a 24 or something like that. Very expertly, perhaps not. The items in front of you are not the best supplies. But like any artist, like any sculptor or creator, you're able to make something amazing out of less than spectacular ingredients. And you are able to combine the pieces into a very beautiful tanuki shape animal. Are you trying to make a sculpture, or are you trying to make a functional like clockwork animal, or
a functional one, like along the same lines as the homunculus that I made earlier?
Okay. So Tinkerer's Tools would allow it to be functional with a 24. So you now would have like a little clockwork raccoon. And as the final portion of this, go ahead and make a performance check for me. With advantage. With advantage.
Okay.
14.
Okay. It does exactly like a tanuki, right? It doesn't look exactly like Himoto. But you finish what you're crafting, and you put the finishing touches on it, and you place it on the ground, and it makes its first sort of mechanical movements, like one of those like early 2000s robot dogs. And Himoto scoots over and sniffs at it and looks at you and wags their tail. And the Kappa puts their hands together, bows at you, and then reapparates on their pedestal and says, "Well done, you have passed the test." I'm gonna have to invent something for frickin' fabricate.
You didn't do your homework?
I didn't plan on fabricate.
What a terrible DM.
I know, I'm horrendous.
Literally an artificer.
I know. Well, look, I had most of the evergreen keywords. So
we can pick up there on the next one.
Yeah, I'll put together your spell lists, and you all now have these charms.
All right.
And as you complete, the Kaito walks forward and says, "Thank you so much, ancestors," and turns to you and says, "Well, that should be enough time for our scientists to have completed their task. And we can walk that way." And he leads you over to where Greasefang is, and also where a very convincing dead Greasefang is, pristine and handsome, and just on a block, just on a block. And Kaito looks at your party and says, "I believe you may have a long journey ahead of you. If you wish to rest, you may. However, I imagine that people are coming."
Probably. All right, guys. So we are just a little bit over on our time. So I think we will. We have one episode left, right? That we have planned to be on Kamigawa. Now, whether that changes or whatnot, we will have to wait until next episode to find out, and we'll figure out what we're going to do with Greasefang. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Ruben, that was wonderful. I love all the cool items and stuff, even though you didn't really finish the job.
Look, I tried so hard.
It was great.
I have to
be
research.
fair, on the wiki list, it's number 123.
Yeah,
it's pretty far down.
You didn't even go to 150. Come on.
I have charms in my notes, I have charms of First Strike, Vigilance, Trample, Haste, Defender, Reach, Menace, Flying, Death Touch, Lifelink, Ward, and Ninjutsu.
Ooh, Defender would have been good. I probably should have done.
So those were what I prepared for. I didn't have Fabricate, unfortunately, and I didn't have Flash, which was I'm a little stupid. But I will come up with a flavorful and hopefully pleasing spell list for the boon of fabrication.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. Make sure you guys check out the sponsor. Cool stuff. There is a link and a discount code down below in the description. We would really appreciate it if you guys would give them a chance to earn your business, and it helps us create more sweet content. Players, thank you guys so very, very much. And I look forward to seeing you guys for likely the conclusion of this particular adventure, and we get to find out what happens to Greasefang in the next episode. I'll see you guys next week.
Great playing with everybody.
GG's.